times more power in the smartphone. That if you've ever been to NASA in the US in Houston, you go there, there's 1,000 times more power in the small smartphone that powered the computers that, of course, put man in the operation on the moon back in 1968 or 1969, I think it was. And I was only in NASA a couple of years ago. It's a very impressive place when you go there. That's really incredible. Of course, this change means that many of our jobs won't be available. Many of the jobs will go off and become robotic or artificial intelligence, all these types of things. And 40% of our jobs could be decreased within 15 years. So we're living in very much a changing society. And of course, we're living in an aging society as well. And primarily how I was brought up with this ruling paradigm is to work hard, build for 40 years. And hopefully you have the ability to buy assets and save, and you're going to have a good retirement. But just imagine the time when you actually retire, most people's income is reduced, is cut by nearly 70%. It's very, very significant. So imagine where you are in today's world. Just imagine where you are today. And as of tomorrow, your income is reduced by 70%. How would that position you? How would your life change? Could you service your debt levels? Could you have the freedom to travel and the choices that you wanted to fulfill? Could you do those on those type of financial levels? Probably not. Then most people think, if they're still working, what about my pension? Well, will a pension be there? For example, in the 1950s, and I was born in the 1950s, but back then, there was about 16 to 17 workers generating taxes, contributing to each person on Social Security, to each pensioner in one sense. Today, there's 2.9. Let's say there's less than 3 workers today, and by now and 2030, it's going to reduce by another 30%, down to 2 workers supporting each person on a pension, which is actually increasing as we move ahead. So this is not sustainable. This is very, very dangerous in one sense. The other thing is that savers, I was brought up in the mentality that you've got to save. If you're working hard, you're getting some income in, you've got to take part of your income and you've got to save it. You've got to save it for that rainy day. But of course, in the introduction, primarily I would say in Australia, maybe the 1970s, we saw the introduction of plastic or cards, credit cards, debit cards, and then it really increased in the 1980s. But up until then, growing up at a dairy farm, if my parents wanted to buy something, it had to come from their savings because they couldn't get really loans on the situation they lived. And then, of course, no such thing as credit cards. But of course, today, if you're a saver, you're actually penalized because by putting money in the bank with negative interest rates, you're actually not making any money. You're not getting a reward for being saving. In fact, you're getting charged for being a saver. And this is a very different situation. I can remember at the end of the recession of the 1980s, early 1990s, if you had money in the bank, the interest rates was probably 12, 13%. That's because we also had high inflation, of course. But as a saver, you're at least rewarded. Now, today, of course, that's not the case. But even, let's just see what a 5% return will do on your money or your assets. To earn an extra $50 per month income, which is not much, just $50 extra income, and you had a 5% return on your money or your equivalent in assets, you need $12,000 in the bank. To earn an extra $600 per month, and we can show you that later on in the presentation, how you're going to achieve that relatively very easy. At 5%, you need to have $150,000 in the bank or in assets. We're going to show you where you just need really 50 euros a month, and you can actually have the ability to be able to generate an extra $600 per month. We'll go through that later on in this presentation. An extra $10,000 per month, you need nearly $2.5 million. Now, with 1% interest rate, I'm just showing you to show the effect of what negative interest rates will have on our savers. And we're not even negative here. We're still positive, aren't we? We're at 1%. $50 a month, you need to have $60,000 in assets. $600 per month, you need to have $750,000 in cash in the bank, term deposit, or in assets earning you 1%. And $10,000 a month, you need to have around about 12 million. So you can see the effect on negative interest rates. Then on top of all that, again, your paper currency, when you go to work, when you go to employment, when you go to your business, whatever it might be, you're trading your time, providing your services, you're getting paid in this paper stuff. And the longer you hold this paper stuff, this paper currency, the less it's going to buy. This currency is working against you. It's unjust weights and measures. Now, the question is, what will $100, 100 francs, 100 euros, 100 Australian dollars, whatever, What will it be 10 years from now? The rule of thumb is whatever currency that you're holding on now, getting paid in now, between now and 2030, it's going to buy 50% less. Whatever currency you're earning for your income today at work, your employment, is going to buy probably 50% less between now and 2030, which means you and I, we have to double our income in the next years, and we're not even getting ahead of the game. We're just meeting up with inflation. So by design, currency since 1971, by design, currency is designed to transfer wealth back to the central banking system through the effects of inflation. That's what it does. So once we understand this, we have to start thinking outside the box. You don't create wealth by saving in a bank in general, okay? You do it by buying real assets. But with that said, we need to have liquidity. We still need to have access to cash, and we need to have some in our bank, business, and paying off our mortgages, whatever it might be, maybe cars and food and different things, utilities. Need to be liquid, of course, okay? But why not save in something that stores value over time? Now, this is a concept that I did not grasp until 2003. Now, I've been in business now for well over 30 years. First business I bought in 1986. I sold my last hotel, my fourth hotel, in 2003. And as a result of that, I went to Zurich, Switzerland, and met a banker named Philip Judge. I was at the Grant Thornton accountant's office boardroom, and he's going to introduce me to the world of precious metals, but also to an energy fund. We'll speak about that later. But in the world of precious metals, he said, Bill, throughout history, rulers of empires have always put part of their paper wealth, they've saved it in precious metals, primarily gold. And he said, the reason being is that back in Roman times, he gave me an example on the whiteboard because I didn't really get it, so I asked him. He said, Bill, you can go back to Roman times thousands of years ago, and 1 ounce of gold, which is 31.103 grams, 1 troy ounce, would actually clothe a person. In those days, it may have been a toga and a pair of leather sandals. And he said, 100 years ago, an ounce of gold in those days had a fixed price of $20. So $20 could be exchanged for 1 ounce of gold. And $20 back in the 1920s would actually buy you a 3-piece suit, a shirt and tie, and a pair of leather shoes, $20. And of course, then he said to me, Bill, here we are in Zurich. Now, this is 2003. What could you do with the $20 today? Well, ask yourself the question, what can you do with $20 today? And it's probably not much. For example, here, even in Dubai, if I go to the local Starbucks, I'm probably going to get 4 cappuccinos, $20 is gone. In Zurich, I'll probably get 3 cappuccinos, but the same ounce of gold exchanged to any currency in the world, this is just under $1,900 US. It's going to actually convert that to local, any currency in the world today, it's still going to give you a fine 3-piece suit, shirt, and tie, and leather shoes. So this is a store of value. So why not save in something that stores value over time? And this is what we're speaking about here. Here's another example just quickly. In 1971, we use the example of 1971 because that's when President Nixon actually removed the US dollar. US dollar was anchored to gold at that time, and all other currencies were pegged to the US dollar. And then he removed that. So primarily we had a floating currency backed by nothing, just by the belief that it had value. And in 1971, you could buy a medium average home in the United States for $25,000, $25,000 worth of this printed paper, or the equivalent of 720 ounces of gold, because in 1971, an ounce of gold had a fixed price of $35 an ounce. Now let's move to 2020. To buy the same home today, you'd need $280,000, a lot more paper, to buy the same medium standard home. But if you've been diversifying and understood how money works, and been diversifying with your families, maybe generations, and saving in gold and in silver, let's talk about gold now. You'd only need 143 ounces of gold. So you need a lot more paper wealth, 12 times whatever, but you need a lot less gold if you've been saving there. This is why diversification and being able to, like the banker said to me, Philip Judge, why rulers of empires, royalty, and the financial elite always take a part of the paper wealth and keep sowing it into ounces of gold year after year, after year after year, generation after generation, because they're actually building a storehouse of wealth. Now, Claudia, for example, Claudia's been with us for 12 years, over 12 years actually, and I know that she each month takes part of her commissions, she converts directly into gold and silver. Smart. she's taking part of her income and she's sowing it into assets of real wealth preservation. Now, here's a chart here that shows US dollar against any particular currency, the euro, the British pound, and the US dollar. You can see it's well and truly outperformed all major currencies. Silver has also been, it's classified as a precious metal, and historically it's been used as money as well, primarily for a lot smaller transactions. It's really the common people, us, for doing our transactions on a daily basis in one sense. But up until the 1960s, I even remember this in Australia, our coins contained silver. Now, in this US example, in 1964, a US quarter, which is 25 cents, contained 5.6 grams of silver. And a quarter in the 1960s would buy you a gallon of gasoline. Now, for people in the States here today, what would you pay for a gallon of gasoline today? It's probably well over $2, correct? But the same 5.6 grams of silver is going to give you a very good gallon of gasoline. So again, we have the same common denominator. It has a store of value. And we see here also the comparison of silver against all major currencies, the British pound, US dollar, euro. If you looked at all other currencies, it's well and truly outperformed. And this is why, again, as the bullion banker taught me, while these people, the elite, have always put part of their savings into gold and silver. Now, we developed this in 2008 to make it very simple that you can do the same. Central banks take part of their wealth and save it in gold. In fact, there's probably about 30, collectively around the world, there's probably around about 30,000 metric tons of gold hoarded in central bank vaults, just sitting there because it's wealth preservation. Now, these are the same people that print this stuff up and want us to use it. And at the same time, they're buying up the gold. China's buying up a lot of gold. Russia's buying up a lot of gold. Turkey's buying up a lot of gold. The eastern part of the world is increasing their gold holdings because they understand the principle. Why would you want to hold on to something that's losing value? They need to diversify. They need to protect themselves. And this is what gold does. Gold's not an investment. It's an insurance policy against the effects of inflation. We make it very simple. As I said to you, for example, Claudia, she earns commissions. You can take those commissions. You can log into your back office and you can buy gold and silver. And it's all done LBMA, means London Bullion Market Association quality and a SAID, certified gold and silver. It's produced, manufactured in Switzerland at the Argo Horizon in Switzerland. You actually see it here on this particular product here. It's stamped on the certificate. It's also stamped on the actual gold 1 ounce coin as well. You'll also see the assay in there. It's purity 99.9, and it's also to its weight as well. And we also store it at a London Bullion Market storage facility. That's where the gold is held here in Dubai at a company called Loomis. And majority of it is kept near the Zurich airport in Switzerland. And when you process in order to have it physically shipped to you, that's where it actually comes. We don't get to handle your gold and silver unless you're arranging a personal pickup from Zurich, which some people do. One of our members would be there to actually, certified members would be there to assist in that. But generally, it's shipped by Loomis International, by FedEx, fully insured, directly to your door. So it's a very, very simple process. Oh, last thing I want to touch on this is that it's highly liquid. Because if it's an insurance policy, like all insurance policies, sometimes you need to liquidate your insurance policy. For example, I'll use Claudia as a good example again. She's been saving for many years now in her gold and silver, building up real asset value over time. Maybe all of a sudden she says, you know what, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to go on a holiday, I'm going to buy a new car. So she wants to sell so many ounces of gold and silver. She can log into her account. She can say, I'm going to sell X amount of gold and silver ounces, and it would go, if the order was placed now, it would go to the next London Bullion Market order, which would be tomorrow. Whatever the sell price is from the actual refinery, that's the price that you would get, and as an active member, there's no actual fees charged. Okay, so it's a very, very simple, and within 2 to 3 days, actually within 48 hours, you have access back to your nominated bank account or to your Bitcoin account. It's also a great way to be able to build up your Bitcoin holdings as well. Let's move into the area of assets now, income producing assets, and I can't say much about that right now, but I know in the next couple of weeks we've got some good news coming out here, which is going to be very exciting for many, many people. Anyway, the ownership of assets is really important, and more so income producing assets. We have assets of gold and silver, which is wealth preservation. That's our insurance policy. But income producing assets means just like this is one of the reasons why I invested in natural resources back in 2004, because I wanted to put some of my wealth that I actually got from the sale of my fourth hotel into another asset to produce another income on the side. I wanted to further generate income from the assets, and that's what I did back in 2004. Now, here's Philip Judge, the bullion banker. That's who I met in 2003. As a result of that meeting, I got engaged in gold and silver, but I also got engaged in an energy fund where he introduced me to Ryan Messer, who was running a public company at that time. And I met Jay Stewart, the engineer, of course. I flew to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I met the team. We also went and visited the assets and walked across the sites to make sure that it was all real, because I put a significant amount of money into this particular investment. In fact, it was a 7-figure back in 2004. So, of course, you want to do your due diligence, don't you? So I wanted to go and meet the people. And I must say, I've known Ryan since 2004. Claudia met him also in 2006. I know that she also invested in this particular energy fund. So we've been engaged with these people for a long time, highly experienced, fantastic to work with, skilled, and, of course, high integrity, which is fantastic. And I believe we're going to have some good news coming out from Store over the next couple of weeks, which we've all been waiting for, of course. It's been a pretty challenging year, but we've done, regardless of how the year's been, because we've owned good assets, we've been very, very fortunate. In fact, this particular asset that we've actually bought, as our first asset that we bought through Store, is the Raccoon Bend natural resource asset, 5,600 acres, 156 wells, over 90 of them producing. It's pretty much a low risk asset. No more, any particular well does not produce any more than about 15% of the total production, which is great because wells go down. It means that if wells go down, you don't lose 90% of your production. You're still producing, you're still generating cash flow. And this asset's actually managed, when I say the property is actually managed, by an engineer and a geologist, Peter and Glenn, who have met. Some of the team members here actually have met them as well. They're actually co-owners in this particular asset since, I think, 2002. So they've got skin in the game. This is their bread and butter. So they manage this to the max. They manage it very, very efficiently. And this has been fantastic during 2020, even when we've seen negative oil prices. But as I said before, we can expect, I think the first week of December, we're going to see some good announcements coming out, if not sooner, regarding actually Store. Let's move into the area of, let's talk about your life. Let's talk about my life, everyone's lives. One thing that affects all of us is finances. I mean, really, it's a big issue, isn't it? It affects every area in our life. People say it's not polite to talk about money. I mean, some people say that. But in truth, why do we go to work? We go to work to provide service, and as a result of that service, we get paid an income, correct? And the levels of our income determines our quality of life. The time freedom that we have with our families, the lifestyle that we have, the ability to be able to reach out and help other people. If you're poor, you can't help others, can you? So the more that you earn, and with a good mindset, you can really sow good seeds of prosperity and also help other people as well. So that's what we're going to speak about now in this part of this particular presentation. And are you ready to take control of your finances? Are you really ready to look at your situation right now, your levels of debt, and what options you actually have to increase your income? Because this is really important. Oh, okay, here we are here. So you've got two choices to be able to get engaged in Utopian Global. You can be a customer, and as a customer, you can just go in and buy gold and silver from as little as 25 euros per month. You can also get involved in asset ownerships as well, just as a direct customer owner. The other thing that you can actually do is become an affiliate member. An affiliate member means you can get ownership of the assets at even a better price. You get ownership at a wholesale price, but you also own a global business system. It's a referral platform where you do our marketing, you share with other people. You're going to actually generate some commissions, and we're going to take you through this particular part of the presentation as well. So you'll make money as an affiliate by referring our gold and silver products and assets, and also by referring our global business platform that we actually have for you. You get paid daily, weekly, monthly into your e-wallet, and from there it gets paid directly into your Bitcoin account or to your nominated bank account. So there's 3 steps, and this is very simple. Don't complicate this. Step 1 is, if you make a decision to be an affiliate, you step in and you select a package. The next thing is we want you to be able to get your money back to manage. It's all about investing is all about managing risk. And to do that, we have a program. If you share it with 3 people, you've already got your money back, you're debt free, sharing it with 3 people. And who would not want to own real assets, to be quite honest, gold and silver, or even the assets such as raccoon bent? So let's look at the packages. So step 1 is you buy your package. Now, the packages start from 99 euros. They actually go up to 7-figure, but these ones here are really the premium affiliate packages, starting from 99 euros up to 3,500 euros. And these here is the commissions you'd actually receive if you referred someone. For example, if you had bought a 99 euro package and you referred me and I bought a 99 euro package, you'd actually earn 37 euros. It means if you share it with 3 people, you've already got your money back, you're debt free. It means your assets are for free, correct? If you could join up with a 99 euro package and maybe I buy the 3,500 euro package, you'd earn 998 euros in commission. Or maybe you joined up with the 1,500 euros, you enroll 3 people, you got 500 euros back. Each 3 people, you already have your money back. So this is actually about risk management. It's designed, 1, to help people get ownership of real assets, and 2, have the ability to recover their investment costs to have 0 risk on their particular asset. And it's quite simple, okay? So as I said here, the example here is 390 euro package. 390 euro package upwards is fantastic because you're getting a lot more assets for the amount. There's benefits for starting with the 390 asset. But if you shared it with 3 people, you'd actually earn 440 euros. So you're already in plus, aren't you? There's pretty much 0 risk to you. And of course, we really want to be able to teach these people to do the same. And that's where the third part comes. You want to be able to build a network. Step 1 is you select your asset. Step 2 is you share it with 3 people, recoup your money. And now we want to build the network, because the network is what's going to set you free. Now I'm going to touch a short story on this. I was first introduced to this concept in 1991 in Australia. I was running my 2nd hotel. A businessman approached me and said, "Bill, I'd like to share a business with you." He came to my house. He shared the business concept with me. Up until that particular time in my life, I'd never heard of this stuff, okay? It was the company was actually called Amway, a fantastic company, does about $6 billion a year in revenues, I think, today. But I didn't resonate with the product so much, but I did resonate with the business model. I thought this business model is ingenious. And as a result of that, I actually, later on, I actually did join up a particular company that worked on the same model, network marketing. We refer products, and if people like the products, they buy them. You're going to get a referral fee. Very honest, very, very easy to do. And I ended up flying to London in 98 or 99, I think it was, where I met the owners of a US company, and I got the rights to take those products to Germany, actually. And as a result of that, we built a huge network of over 50,000 people. So here I am in Australia, running my traditional hotel businesses. Other side of the world, I built an organization over many years. When I say I, that would be a lie. I say we, because it's always a team effort, okay? We built a significant team that allowed me to be able to earn another 6-figure income on the side. I wasn't there, and I wasn't even living there. I was on the other side of the world. This is the power that you have in your hand. It's this is the part of the program, regardless of where you are right now in your life, it can set you free. It's pretty much 0 risk. Believe you me. And what can set you free is the power of compounding. And this is the thing that triggered me in 1991 when this businessman introduced me to this particular concept. He taught me this, and I just got it here. It's a no-brainer. Here I was working 70, 80 hours in my hotels at that particular time. And I thought to myself, wow, I could actually do something else while I'm running my hotels, leverage another income. I could be making money while I'm sleeping. I thought, that's how I want to live. And I've been engaged with this business model ever since. Now, let's just have a look at the power of leverage of time and money. Simple example here, we're going to double a cent. So double a cent on day 1. Day 2, it's going to be 2 cents. Day 3, it's going to be 4 cents. Day 5 is 16 cents, so on, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Day 21, we're at $10,500. We started with 1 cent. Okay, just relate the word time and money. You leverage your time, working with a team, you're going to leverage your income. But by day 31, you're at 10.5 million. Significant. That is the power of leverage. And this is exactly what we're doing with Utopian Global. This is what I was taught in 1991. So step one, you decided to have a package. I don't care if it's a 99 € package or it's a 250,000 € package. It's your choice, correct? You buy your package, you then refer it to 3 people. And as I said, you do that, you've got your money back. But then we want to teach them, we want to support them and teach them to do the same things. So you start building a network, correct? And the power of 3, okay, you introduce 3 people, you helped and supported them. Level 2, you have 9 people and so on. Now, what's the great thing? As soon as people start to see this, they think, oh, it's one of those pyramid things. Everything is a pyramid out there. We are legal. We have real products, okay? And even though Claudia has been involved with us for 12, 13 years, you could join up today and have the ability of earning more income than her. That's the way it's designed, okay? A lot of people don't understand it, but that's the absolute truth. But the power of 3, if you did it down to these types of levels, you can see here you'd have 2,000 people in your team, you'd be generating about 8,000 per month. 8,000 per month is a nice number, correct? It would change people's lives, pay off the house mortgage much quicker. You can do many things with an extra 8,000 euros per month. Even if you're only 10% successful, it's still an extra 800 per month, correct? That would probably cover maybe some people's house mortgages, maybe, okay? But let's see the power by adding 1. This is what I love. This is what I love about the power of leverage. You've introduced 3. If you can introduce 3, you can introduce actually 10 to be quite honest. But let's say you've introduced 3, you're going to add just 1 more and teach them to do the same. The power of 4 now. Now, in the power of 4, you saw you had a result of course, 2,000 people. Here you've got 21, nearly 22,000 people, and you're at 54,000 euros per month. This is exactly the way you would get paid if you built the structure. Okay? So this is the power of leverage. You've just added 1 person. You haven't had to go out and add the extra 19,000 people yourself. You've added 1 person yourself and taught them the same. You've trained them. The training system that Claudia actually provides. You can see the the levels of income that can actually be achieved from this particular program. But my mentor back then, who I didn't actually work with, I must say, he taught me the power of 5. The power of 5 is significant. And to maximize the rewards from our company, you need to at least have 5 people on your front line, which is okay. And to get 5, you may have to go out to 40 or 50 people. You may only have to go out to 10 people. Who doesn't want to own extra real assets, and who doesn't want to own another income? Everybody does, okay? So let's start off at 3. You've got your money back. You're going to add 1 more. Then you're going to add another person to make it 5. Let's just see the power of this leverage. All of a sudden, you have a team of nearly 100,000 people, and you've got a monthly income of nearly 200,000 per month. If you're 10% successful, it's an extra 20K per month. Powerful. When I saw this, it got me. It's just a no-brainer. It's very, very easy. Now, you bought your package, you got your money back by referring to people. Now you're on what we call, to qualify for commissions, we have the asset accumulation plan, which is only 50 euros per month. Now, in that 50 euros, you're getting ownership. You can actually select gold and silver, or you can select store, the asset. You can select, but you're getting ownership of real assets in that 50 euros. It's nothing. This tea cost me nearly $3 in a paper cup, okay, per day. So a cup of coffee per day, over a month, you own a global international business, which is giving you asset ownership. Now you can see here with 5, on the second level, you're already making 4 times your money. Your assets are for free. It's costing you 50 a month. Actually, at 40 euros a month, you're not quite there. But remember, part of it's you've already owned the asset. But by duplicating to a second level, you're already making 4 times your money. Your assets are free and your cash flow is 4 times. It's a 4x. When I saw this, I just thought, this is ingenious. So I introduced it to some people in Australia in 1991. I got them together and said, guys, I've been introduced to this particular company. We're going to buy some products and services from this particular company. In those days, it was 150 Australian dollars per month. Let's say it's 100 US dollars per month, just in rough terms. And we're going to buy these products every month. Personally, I don't care if you use the products or not. Okay, they're consumable products. But when we share it, when we buy these each month and share it with other people, we're going to get paid a commission. And with leverage, we can generate a significant income. Most of the guys and girls, they got it. This is a no-brainer. I can afford $2 a day. lower in. And as I said, over a number of years, we turn this into a strong 6-figure income on the side. This is the power that you actually have here in doing this, okay? So step 1 is you select your package. Step 2 is you refer it to 3 people. You've got your money back. They own their assets. You own your assets. And step 3 is leverage. You've got to have leverage. If you're not leveraging your time and money in your life, you're going to trade your time for money. You're going to go to work trading 1 hour for $20, 2 hours for another $20, $40, etc. Year after year after year, over 40, 45 years. And most people are going to do that and retire pretty much broke. And statistically, that is correct. Okay. I didn't want to do that. When I learned this stuff, I thought, this is for me. So you have the ability here for the price. You can get started for 99 euros one time. On top of that, 50 euros per month, where you're getting asset ownership by sharing with other people, then buying assets as well. You build a network over time, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. You're going to generate a strong income. And that income you can actually convert back into real assets. This is exactly what Claudia does, and many of our people around the world actually do. Now, you're in business for yourself and not by yourself. We have training, we have back offices, and all these types of things. Claudia touches on that. I'm not in there. And of course, you start generating another source of income, getting up into the ranks. We have trips and other rewards as well. And of course, you'll be able to afford a very nice holiday for your family, etc. when you start increasing your income. So the time is to get in. So I encourage you to contact the person that introduced you to Utopian Global, get your questions answered. If not, you can also reach out to support@utopianglobal.com. Everything that you saw there, this is a disclaimer, but everything that you saw there on the numbers is mathematically 100% correct. But we know not everyone's going to work that way. Some people may enroll one person, some enroll no people, some enroll 50, 60 people. Everyone's going to be different, have different social networks, correct? Everyone's going to pitch it different. You bring them to this particular thing, let us do the heavy lifting for you. That's really the way to do it. But the point is that we're not giving you financial advice, but we are showing you a fantastic global system that can certainly generate cash flow for you and give you real asset ownership in gold and silver and income producing assets as well. Store equity is not available in the US. That's fine, guys. You got your gold and silver there. You can still do the same thing. And who wouldn't? Each month when I was in Australia, we had to buy consumable products. Here, you're not buying liquids. You're getting gold and silver every month if you want. Who wouldn't want a garage of gold and silver in today's world? I mean, look at the run gold and silver's had this particular year. It's been fantastic. And of course, we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So when you actually decide to buy your affiliate package, that's a 99 euro package upwards. Doesn't matter. It could be a 250,000 euro package. If you don't like what we have, within 14 days, you'll get 100% of your money back. Okay. So the time is to get in now. And I like this quote very much. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. And I can assure you, coming from a pretty humble beginning, a guy that wasn't so good at school, a guy that grew up on a dairy farm from a big family, I've been running international businesses now in Switzerland, here in Dubai as a licensed gold trader for many years now, living internationally. I had to change something in myself, had to start in here. It's the desire, it's the decision to change your life. And only you can make that decision. And what I'm suggesting to you here in this particular presentation, we have a very simple platform here where you can get ownership of real assets, you can build a network, you can build strong cash flows up, and it's not going to break you. The risk is low, and you can stop at any time. But why would you want to stop? If you want to change your life, we have the vehicle here for you. So I encourage you again to reach out to the people that introduced you to Utopian Global. So Claudia, back over to you.
Thank you, Bill, so much for the presentation. Great stuff. Very, very, very good. I mean, and that's the key, as I posted today, you don't get rewarded for taking risk, as Jeremy Graham says, the great investors. I mean, he is, I think, over the age of 90 now. So he has a lot of time in of experience, which he had in his life. One of the most successful investors. He said, you don't get rewarded for taking risks. You get rewarded for buying assets cheap. And what you're really doing over time, and what we have been doing over time, is, of course, besides the amazing business model, we actually accumulated and we dollar cost averaged the gold and the silver. I mean, this is really what we have been doing. And then, of course, with the oil assets and all the other, we dollar cost average. So we really, this is a really, really great way to say, I mean, what are you doing if you're saving in currency? Well, again, as Bill said, you're actually losing, unfortunately, over time. Yet, if you buy the right assets, and of course, gold is the hedge against inflation, you dollar cost average. So that's my little sense to it. Bill, thank you for the presentation. I know it's really late in Dubai yet there, so I don't see any questions here because I can't see the panel today, unfortunately. So you have to see if there's a question coming, but I don't have the rights to see the panel today. And thank you for your viewers also on Facebook there. Thank you for your viewers on Facebook. I'm going to shut now the social media off. Thank you, guys. Really, really great. We're going to do more of those presentations. Check in on Thursday. Thursday evening is a great presentation as well. Let us know your comments, your thoughts. And if you have some questions, go back to the person who invited you, or send, of course, an email to support@utopianglobal.com. And on webinar, we're going to still continue for a little bit. So thank you, guys, on social media.